A Brit and an American swap countries to try each other's McDonald's. This is Food Wars.
We'll start with some things you can find in the UK, but I think might be slightly different over here. Let's start with the iconic McDonald's Big Mac. So I mean, visually, looks pretty much the same. You've got the quite sad, flimsy beef patties. Let's give it a try. So I think there are some subtle differences there, actually. Like, broadly speaking, if you gave it to me and were like, this is a UK Big Mac, I don't think I would doubt you. I think it's the sauce, because the UK Big Mac sauce has got like quite a tang to it almost. And this is very gentle. I barely get anything from it.
The Big Mac. Now this looks exactly like a Big Mac anywhere in the world. You know what I gotta do. Let's give this a shot. If that isn't exactly the same, it's close. I mean, if I could do one side by side, I'd probably notice, but I do not taste any difference. I remember when we did fast food chemistry, you guys like had more chemicals and stuff to use, but I'm here to say the chemicals have not made a striking difference. It tastes almost exactly the same.
Then we're on to the fries and the Coke aspect of the meal. Firstly, I have to point out how enormous these are. The size of this drink is ridiculous. This is way bigger than almost any fast food drink I've seen in the UK ever. Even the fries as well. Like, this box of fries is huge. They've kind of like sunk down a little bit, so it doesn't really show how full it was. But like, this carton is massive. You can fit so many fries in here. It feels like almost double the size of a carton of UK fries. I mean, these are pretty good. I will say, I think they've held up a lot better after like a bit of time out of the fryer than UK fries have. UK McDonald's fries, I think maybe because they don't have as many ingredients, there aren't the kind of like preservative chemicals in there. They don't really hold up very well at all. As soon as they come out the fryer, they kind of just get worse and worse and worse. So you have to eat them really like while they're hot. I think taste-wise, there are some slight differences as well. There is like something more than just kind of like salt going on here. So I only know this because we made that fast food chemistry episode of McDonald's fries. But there is like a sort of artificial beef flavor that's added to these. And you do kind of taste it. It's very subtle, but there's like a kind of like savory depth of flavor to these that you just don't get in the UK. I kind of like it, I can't lie.
First thing about these fries, these guys are pale looking. Not the bright yellow I'm used to in the States. The whole thing is this is potato, salt, and oil, that's it. Yeah, and I believe it, because these are bland. Man, what? No, on the fries. USA ones are way better.
And then finally, this enormous McDonald's Coke. I don't know what it is about McDonald's Coke, but it just always hits different. That happens in the UK, and yeah, kind of still happens here. Another iconic menu item that I thought was worth trying was McNuggets. So just visually speaking, before I even try it, these look quite different to British McNuggets. I'm fairly sure the ones in the UK are deep fried. Correct me if I'm wrong, editor. But these ones look almost more deep fried somehow, just in terms of the way that the breading has kind of like puffed up and blistered a little bit. I will say I think the breading maybe has slightly more seasoning, a bit more flavor going on here than I'm used to. The chicken itself I think is pretty much the same. I think I might prefer British nuggets. Sorry, guys.
Nuggets look like almost exactly the same size. Smell the same. Same amount of crispness on the skin. No, much blander. Much blander. You guys are getting a terrible deal with these nuggets because this is dry. I did notice there's 100% chicken breast meat on this one. I do not know if that's the case in America. Can we get that on screen? But I've just been informed, no, of the chicken that they use, 100% of it is chicken breast meat, but it's only 45% chicken, right? It says 100% chicken breast on it. That the implication there is that the chicken is 100% chicken, or it's 100% chicken meat. It is not. Deceptive.
The last thing we wanted to compare in both countries was the McCrispy. Here is an American McCrispy. It looks fairly similar to ours on the surface. This one I think is a potato roll rather than kind of the more like pretzel-y brioche version that you find in the UK. There's no sauce, it's just pickles and a fried chicken patty. I really like the pickles. I think pickles and fried chicken is a great combination, and it's not super common in the UK. I will say I think it needs a sauce. I think technically they claim that they butter the rolls and that butter is, I guess, there for the sauce, but like it's kind of dry. The chicken's just like a little bit thin as well. I feel like the McCrispy in the UK tends to be like a thicker and slightly juicier piece of chicken. But this is like a fairly thin and quite dry chicken breast.
The McCrispy. Oh, nice. All right, I'm pleasantly surprised by the bun. Like, reminds me of like King's Hawaiian rolls. Yeah, this looks like our McChicken. It is so close to the McChicken. Better bun than the McChicken, but the crispiness of the chicken patty, it tastes slightly different. I would say the McChicken sauce is I hate to say it, is a bit sweeter, but because I love the McChicken. Like the taste of that is like in my DNA.
Here are all the US menu items you won't find at a UK McDonald's.
Here's all the UK McDonald's menu items I can't get in the US.
We'll start with some chicken options, namely the Deluxe McCrispy and the Spicy Deluxe McCrispy. Let's take a look at the Deluxe McCrispy and see what exactly they're adding to make it deluxe. The roll looks pretty much the same as the standard version. The chicken looks the same, but I think when they say deluxe, that just means they've added mayo, lettuce, and tomato. I don't know if that is enough to qualify something as deluxe. Doesn't seem super deluxe to me. I also think that tomato is just a bad topping for a burger. They've kind of made this worse, in my opinion. I'm gonna take a bite of the spicy one and see if it's good and if it's spicy. It does have some heat to it. They won't get them for my measly British person palate. I think I would probably just buy the regular version of the McCrispy and then like add some sauce to it.
So you got a bacon mayo chicken and a mayo chicken. No, this might be exactly what the McChicken's like. No, it's a little wimpier. Yeah, this is like, is this what you're talking about? Like it's a big McNugget? Yeah. The mayo's weird. That's like stale aftertaste. I'm telling you, your guys' breaded chicken at McDonald's has no flavor compared to the one in the US. The McCrispy was crispier, had more flavor in the sauce, and the bun was nicer. Yeah, this is like this is a bummer. The same with bacon, but I really have to, no. Look how like flimsy your bacon is.
Now we're on to some beef options, starting with the McDouble. I have just some kind of like existential questions about the McDouble. Namely, why does it exist? Because we have the double cheeseburger. Let's give it a try. I'm genuinely curious, like, how is this different to just a double cheeseburger? Joe?
One slice of cheese.
One slice of cheese. Joe says one slice of cheese. Talk me through it.
Okay, so what's going on here is that the McDouble has one slice of cheese in between, where double cheese we have 2 slices of cheese.
Oh.
I think that's the only difference. I honestly think it's right because this is just like the standard McDonald's.
Yeah, this looks
hamburger,
very normal.
Right? It's just one less slice of cheese from what we can tell. And the price difference is, let's get that on screen. So if you want to save that amount of money, get yourself a McDouble and pass the savings on to you.
There you go. Cheers, Joe. You had it here first. Next up, we have the Quarter Pounder with Cheese Deluxe. So similarly to the McCrispy, they've turned this thing into a deluxe burger by just adding some lettuce, some mayo, and some tomato. You know what they've tried to do here? They've tried to just make a Whopper. This is the double Quarter Pounder with bacon. Now this is a burger. This one does what you would expect a Quarter Pounder to do. It's just loads of meat and cheese. I want to talk more about this bacon as well, because this bacon's good. One thing that I think we do quite badly in the UK at fast food is bacon. A lot of the bacon you'll find on UK restaurants is like this very pallid pink color, whereas this one, stronger flavor, you get some like smokiness from it. The bacon on this is way better, and therefore that makes it a very enjoyable burger. Yes, I think the deluxe should just be more beef and some bacon rather than vegetables that no one wants to eat. Come on.
Thank you. Oh yeah, now we're talking 2 patties. Although I'm telling you guys, the patty on patty with nothing in the middle, it's just weird. A poppy sesame seed bun hybrid? Whoa! Yeah, it doesn't look like barbecue sauce. Like barbecue sauce is like an amber brown. It's like the bacon kind of screws it up. Because your bacon is so flimsy. I think this would work with like American bacon, because American bacon would just be like crisp. I mean, it's not like it has to be like crispier, it's just this is like really like rubbery. What do you guys think barbecue sauce is? Bacon double cheeseburger. I'm not impressed with your bacon here, guys. I'm not impressed. Look at. American, look how weird this is. Yeah, like. I'm pretty sure we had a bacon double cheeseburger at some point in McDonald's, and it wasn't like this. Our bacon is like crispier, more dispersed evenly, I guess. There's like 2 strips going right through the middle here. That's a disaster. It's a total disaster. All right, McPlant. Harry, get in here and explain to me what I'm doing, what this is.
This is the McPlant. It's McDonald's fake meat burger. It took them ages to develop this. They tested it in Scandinavia first. It was available in Sweden for a while. They also developed their own vegan cheese because McDonald's couldn't find a commercial vegan cheese that they thought was good enough.
Yeah, I believe it. Look at this. This looks terrifying.
I'll leave it to it, buddy.
Thanks, bud. What he said. I think it was only available in a few places in the US. Came and went. So at least the US audience not impressed with the McPlant. Yeah, I'm not good. There's definitely some plant-based meat that tastes good, that tastes like meat. This ain't it. Want to take this moment to try your UK Coca-Cola? Man, the Coke here is way better. You guys make it with the real sugar? Off with this. Is this? And these are the dippers, right? Who do you think you are, McDonald's? Who do you think you are doing this? You just took the dippers and put them... Oh, God, gross. What is this like? What is this? Vegetables. Yo, this sucks ass, dude. Yeah, the vegetarian says he loves them. Put an asterisk next to that. Of all the things he can eat at McDonald's, there's 2, right? And this is one of them. So, okay, great. I never want this. Moving on. Ah, chicken selects. This is closer to like what our McChicken and our nuggets taste like. Oh yeah. Damn, wish we had this in America. The sour cream and chive dip is really good.
Here are all the exclusive wraps and salads that you can find in the US that you won't find in the UK. That's not a mistake, there are just none of them. It's not even that there's no exclusives, there's just no wraps or salads full stop on a US McDonald's menu.
USA!
I can't exactly say that the UK salads are good at McDonald's, but at least we have them. You know, you have an option if you somehow are trying to eat healthy but have ended up in a McDonald's anyway. Whereas in America, the closest thing you have to a salad is this bag of apple slices.
Oh, God. I hate wraps. This is a really smart way of presenting this. A pita. Isn't that a pita?
Tortilla, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I guess it's closer to tortilla.
Also, the way you say
Pita.
yeah.
How do you say it?
Bitter.
No, that's wrong. That's with an I. Pita.
I would say
Pi-
bitter.
Well, you'd be wrong. Oh, what kind of dressing is this? Well, it says garlic, but it's not very garlicky. Okay, so then we have the grilled version of this. Yeah. No, 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 no. What flavor could this possibly have? Oh, come on.
I thought that was a bit of bread.
No. Oh, man. That has no flavor. Yeah, you can get a grilled or crispy chicken salad, but we didn't get them because I didn't fly across the planet to eat a salad. Hey, this is fun. Nacho cheese wedges. Well, we're much further from Mexico, so how good could the nacho cheese actually be? Not bad. Certainly the most flavorful thing I've eaten today.
Now it's time for the exclusive condiments, and you know what that means. Sauce talk.
The very first sauce talk, foreign exchange.
Sauce talk.
We're gonna start with this one, spicy buffalo. Yeah, so I think that's the same one that they put on the spicy McCrispy. It's pretty good. It's basically like if you take a mayo and just pour some Frank's Red Hot in it. Let's try the honey mustard out. I personally love a honey mustard. You certainly get the honey. It's pretty good. I think the balance of that is more on the honey side, and it needs to swing slightly more to the mustard side. Now this one I'm excited for. It's ranch. We call it ranch, not ranch. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's got like a sort of herby tang to it. Then we've got a couple of condiments which are technically breakfast items, but we're going to count under sauce talk anyway. We'll start with the mild picante salsa. I think this is supposed to be paired with the breakfast burrito, which we will get onto later. But I'm going to try it with a nugget.
Jesus. Okay, that's enough. Do it.
That's what it says on the tin. That's just a mild salsa, really. Also on the breakfast condiments list, we have hot cake syrup. I guess like maybe legally they're not allowed to call it maple syrup, so hot cake syrup. I mean, like people eat pancakes with bacon and maple syrup, so why can't chicken nuggets and maple syrup go together? Okay, I thought I'd invented something special there, but no, turns out I cannot claim that combination as my own. It's butter. They have butter on the menu. I think again designed to be used with the hotcakes. The final condiment option is some grape jam. I will say, like, we don't tend to have many grape flavored products in the UK for whatever reason.
Yeah?
It's pretty tasty.
Yeah, I mean like...
Maybe not in combination with the chicken, but the grape jam is quite nice.
Already your ketchup, it's bizarre. It makes sense why this would be ketchup, considering what ketchup is. But American ketchup is way sweeter. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but like I'm eating that and I'm like, If that was on a plate, I was eating somewhere that was on a plate and I was like dipping into it, I'd be like, oh, what sauce is this? Because I wouldn't think that's ketchup. Like, oh, it's like this fun like tomato sauce you got. I was like, I wouldn't go, oh, ketchup. Yeah, it's like that different. Okay, the barbecue sauce from the country with no barbecue. Let's see what you guys think barbecue is. Nope. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Sweet chili dip. Here we go. Better. Just okay. McDonald's barbecue sauce is its own special brand of barbecue sauce. Yeah, this is pretty close to it, but this one's a little more mustardy. So okay, yeah, it's not bad. All right, sweet and sour. Ooh, that's really good. Oh hell yeah, dude! Sweet curry. Been waiting for this. That's really good.
We don't have any exclusive options when it comes to the food inside a Happy Meal, but I did want to get one and just kind of like see what the vibe was, see what the toy is, crucially. So at the time of recording this, The Little Mermaid hit theaters recently, so they seem to be doing a collab with The Little Mermaid. Does that mean I'm going to get a Little Mermaid toy? Let's find out. So we get, oh, these fries are so cute. So this is a UK large. This is what I'm used to. I will say in the UK, the fries come in like a paper bag rather than one of these simply adorable little cartons, which honestly, huge fan of. I went for the McNuggets, which tend to come in a box of 4. There you go, you get the apple slices within that. This is the American salad. And of course, we get a toy. Oh, it's King Triton, let's go. Place your toy on a phone or tablet for more fun, which I do think we have to try and do real quick.
Okay, there to get. Okay, put it down.
Put my phone on the desk.
You guys are getting
on the
this,
table.
right?
Getting all of this. This is crucial.
Place your toy on there. Pick a thing.
We'll just go there.
Okay. Play the game.
Turn your sound on. I'm gonna be honest. This is a miss. Some kind of pattern. Learn pattern. That one. That one. Did it. I win.
DC Happy Meal. I've been told that it's. Let's see. I got a toy. Oh, poison ivy. Fast food fish is way more popular here. You guys love your fast fish. I do not. It smells fishy. For the first time, your food being flavorless is a good thing. Fries, yeah, this actually, I would say this is also our kid size. Let's take a look at the poison ivy toy. What the hell? What is? Okay. Oh, there's some inside. Stickers. For the game. All right. Fun for kids.
Now we're into some McCafe and dessert options. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a few of these, but here are the ones that I was able to find today. We'll start with a good old-fashioned American chocolate chip cookie. This looks pretty good. We're kind of bad at cookies in the UK. I don't know what it is, but they tend to be very like dry and crumbly rather than soft and chewy. That's not bad. What's more American than apple pie? I'll tell you what, an apple pie from McDonald's. This is the American McDonald's apple pie. In the UK, a McDonald's apple pie is actually deep fried. It just looks very different. This is a baked apple pie. So you get more of like a lattice going on. You see the filling there, but it's baked. So I guess, you know, they don't need to seal it on every side because it's not going in a fryer. It's not all going to spill out into the oil. Don't know if this is going to hold up or not. I think the UK might be doing better apple pies than the US is, at least when it comes to McDonald's. The pastry's fine. The filling tastes pretty much identical to the filling of a UK apple pie. But yeah, like the baked pastry is just not the same as fried pastry. And then there's actually another pie option on the menu right now at a US McDonald's. This one is a strawberry cream pie. That's pretty good. As I said, there were some desserts and pastries that we weren't able to get today. Here they are.
In the UK, you can also get exclusive McFlurries. Could not get them because you're not going to believe it, but the ice cream machines are also broken in the UK. You can get yourself a Maltesers McFlurry and a Smarties McFlurry. Okay, we got the McCafe snacks. First up, oh, a donut. Hey, who doesn't like a donut? Ooh, yo, this one is covered in sugar. Look at that. Muffin, berry muffin. A millionaire's donut, huh? Ooh, with the cream inside? It is pretty decadent. I don't know if I feel like a millionaire. I don't think millionaires are eating those, I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yep, that's a good cookie.
Let's talk about the drinks. First of all, there are some hot and cold coffees which are available in both countries. It does seem like the US actually has a bigger range of coffees, particularly when it comes to the iced versions. While in the UK, we're limited to a couple of basic ones like an iced latte. Over here, you can get all sorts. You can get things like your iced caramel mocha, your frappa mocha chino Dunkin' thingy majiggy, you know the ones. There are some interesting non-coffee drinks though that I do want to try and talk about now. We're going to start with this one down the end, which I believe is Hawaiian Punch. Not common in the UK at all.
Yep.
Okay. If this is the first one, I think I have a bit of a storm coming here. It's pretty good, but wow, is that sweet. This one is an American-style lemonade. As I've said before on the show, lemonade in the UK is like Sprite. It's like a clear, carbonated, lemony beverage, whereas this looks like a good old-fashioned American lemonade. It's not bad. It's weird, like, to me, that lemonade isn't carbonated, but that's pretty good. That's actually fairly refreshing, unlike maybe the Hawaiian Punch was. Also, happy birthday Grimace, while we're on the subject. They did have a special Grimace shake, but the ice cream machine was broken at the McDonald's that we went to, of course. So I haven't been able to get the Grimace shake, which I'm really sad about. Here's what it's supposed to look like. They do not have a good old-fashioned cup of tea on the menu at an American McDonald's. What they do have is sweet tea. I felt like I had to try it as a Brit. You know, I have to give my thoughts on everyone's teas.
No!
They weren't kidding when they called it sweet tea. So this was supposed to be a blue raspberry frozen Fanta, and this was supposed to be a frozen Coke. However, now it is just a melted blue raspberry Fanta and a melted Coke, otherwise known as Coke. Ooh, that's pretty good. Yeah, it just tastes of Coke. It does somehow like still has a bit of fizz to it, and the same with the Fanta actually. I do think I would like these if they were frozen. I think like on a really hot day, for example, carrying a frozen Coke around sounds delightful. So yeah, would quite like those on the UK menu maybe. Then we have what I believe to be High C drink. High C Orange Lava Burst. Yeah, so this isn't carbonated, but it's not fruit juice. It's somewhere in the middle. I'd put it like reasonably close to an Oasis that we can get in the UK, which is also like a sort of non-carbonated fruity beverage. I don't love it. Last but by no means least, we have milk on the menu. I think this is kind of aimed at kids. I never want to meet a person who is a grown adult and goes to McDonald's and orders milk with their meal. These are all the exclusive drinks we got today. There are some other ones, and here they are.
All right, the McCafe exclusives. They didn't label any of them, so I'll just guess. That's definitely hot chocolate, but let's see how's it compared to the deluxe. Oh, this is the butter thing. That's terrible. We'll get back to that. Let's find the other hot chocolate. That's a hot chocolate. I can't tell the difference. I don't know which one's deluxe. Would deluxe be size? Wait, this one has like that buttery oil floating in it? And this, I know what this is. Tea! I don't get it. I don't get why this is so popular. The McCafe food's pretty good. I like it. You got a good selection here. The drinks, not so much. I like banana. I like banana flavored stuff, and we don't nearly have as much in the United States. This tastes exactly like a banana Laffy Taffy. It's great. What's Oasis? Yeah, no thanks. I mean, it's like sweet, but it like reminds me of like Gatorade. Orange juice, I know what orange juice tastes like. What is this? Robinson's Fruit Shoot. Why is it a fruit shoot? What's the shooting part?
For kids, really.
Oh, so it's just like shoot in my mouth, like ah. That
I
was
think
for
it's
it?
called that because it's better. Like kids are more like, yeah, give me a fruit shoot
Then what?
than like give me a Coke.
I would like to know why this is called Fruit Shoot. Okay, so I think it's called, I haven't looked it up, I think it's called Fruit Shoot because once you squeeze, like shoot in your mouth, like and Leon thinks it's because it sounds better than saying Coke.
Now we're going to talk about the most important meal of the day, breakfast. We'll start with this one, the steak and egg McMuffin. That doesn't really look, taste, or feel like a steak. Now next up, America has some breakfast biscuit options. So from what I've seen, a biscuit looks very much like a scone, which is obviously a classic British dish. Now the fact that they would be putting breakfast food like bacon, eggs, sausages into what is effectively a scone is weird to me, and I think will be weird to a lot of Brits as well. So this is just a classic sausage biscuit. It does look pretty like a scone. It's maybe a bit more like smooth on the outside than I'm expecting from a scone. So dry.
Told you.
Oh my God.
Hey, Joe
Thanks,
from
man.
Food Wars here. Just wanted to say that's not a scone. It's a different biscuit. I don't know what he's talking about. He'll be chewing on that for the next 4 minutes, but it's different.
He's right. It's different. It's not a scone. It's somehow worse. Yeah, apparently I chose badly with the sausage being my first one because that was dry as a desert. So let's have a quick bite of a bacon, egg, and cheese, which is a classic American/New York breakfast combo. It's still pretty dry, but the addition of the other stuff definitely helps. What are the takeaways there? Scones and biscuits are different. not the same. A scone is a little bit more crumbly, generally like slightly sweeter. These are not sweet, slightly more bready texture. I'm still not convinced by the notion of them as like the foundation of a breakfast sandwich, just mostly because of how dry they are. But hey, who am I to judge American culture? Now these I'm excited for. I've heard very good things about these from Joe. These are McDonald's McGriddles. If I remember correctly from watching Joe eat these, they've kind of got like pancakes that they sort of inject with syrup and then use those as the buns for a breakfast sandwich, which sounds pretty excellent. I'll try the bacon, egg, and cheese, see how we get on. Still slightly dry, but way less dry than the biscuit and very tasty. I'm gonna go even more syrup, because what's better than adding more syrup to something which is already full of syrup? McGriddles, yes. Biscuits, not so sure. So this was the bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddle. You can also get McGriddles with sausage and egg and cheese, or the steak, which I will not be trying. The next exclusive breakfast item is the bacon, egg, and cheese breakfast bagel. We used to have bagels on the menu at the UK McDonald's, and they were wonderful. Part of the breakfast menu, toasted bagels with your choice of toppings and fillings, really good. Pandemic hit, they cut them from the menu, and they've not returned. And personally, I'm furious about that. Yeah, I've missed you so much, bagel. Next up, we have a sausage burrito. Breakfast burritos really not a thing in the UK. We're just like generally bad at Mexican food. This is obviously designed to be enjoyed with the mild salsa. It's actually pretty good. And then lastly on the breakfast menu, we have these, the big breakfasts. The standard big breakfast is a slab of scrambled egg, a sausage patty, and a biscuit. And this is the big breakfast with hot cakes, which is the egg, biscuit, and sausage, but then also comes with 2 pancakes. Both of these come with dips, including a little thing of whipped butter, and of course, the hot cake syrup. So I wasn't sure what the difference was between pancakes and hotcakes. Joe's just done a quick Google, and apparently hotcakes tend to be a bit thicker and denser than pancakes. I mean, to me that just tastes like a pancake. I'm thinking maybe they've just called them hotcakes to make them sound more fancy or different, but yeah, not bad.
And of course, McDonald's UK, I gotta try the breakfast. All right, first up, the mini potato waffles. Hash browns that are shaped like a waffle. I don't know why this specific shape. Yeah, dude. For some reason, it tastes a lot better in waffle form. I don't know why that is. It's really good. What do you got here? Breakfast sandwich. This is the bacon roll with brown sauce. It's like a hamburger bun. Look at this. There's your brown sauce right there. It's just okay. Nothing special. It's like bland. I'm starting to think that you in the UK, you guys don't like, your stuff isn't as like intense as ours in America is. Like this wouldn't fly in the US because it's not dripping with cheese and it doesn't have an egg in it and the buns aren't like uber buttery. It's just too plain, it's too boring. This is the same thing with just ketchup. Oh. Now we're getting more in my speed. This one has cheese and bacon in it. Oh yeah, is that sausage? Yeah, this looks more like something they'd get in the US. Yeah. Cheesy flatbread. Oh God. Cheesy bacon. Oh, come on, guys. Yeah, see, this is the bacon. This is more like the bacon we're used to.
So that's streaky bacon.
Streaky bacon. So this is bacon, and the other thing was Canadian bacon in the US. I don't know why. Or ham, I'm gonna call it. I mean, this just looks like, this looks like whatever. Yeah, it sucks. And that's why it sucks. It's like the flatbread is too strong. I can barely taste the streaky bacon, which is what it came here for, so. Double sausage. Okay, so with this, you guys just went double meat on both. Oh, man! Yo, look how much sausage is in here. Look at that. Hell yeah. Now we're talking, UK. See? Although, nothing in between the two sausage patties is like, you gotta like, it's gotta go cheese, meat, cheese, meat. You can't just do meat and this doesn't work. And possibly like a sauce. No sauce is weird for this one. Your sausage is weird. I would say ours is like spicier, not heat, but like the flavor of the sausage is more pronounced in the US one compared to this. So I know in the US, our sausage is made up of, and from what I understand, the UK sausage is made up of, and that was all done in post. I have no idea what it says. I do, like, here's the thing, I like the double, but needs more cheese, needs to be drowning in some sort of sauce. But this one, I'm assuming then is double bacon. Yeah, right. No, this is not double bacon. Wait, let's get 1, 2 pieces of bacon's double bacon? This is double for you guys? For real? Yo, you're getting ripped off, guys. Excuse me, you've made a mistake on my, they come back in, like, come like storming in and cutting the line, be like, ah, you made a mistake on mine. There's only 1 slice of bacon on this. So, all right, let's try with this double bacon. It's ham. Yeah, that's standard. That's not double. This is smart that they did the jam. I don't know if they, in the US, they have the squirtable one. I mean, do I need to like, I mean, I know what a muffin and jam tastes like. I'm not like, if I eat this, will I still have had a British muffin and jam? I think after this, I still have no idea what a British muffin and jam tastes like. All right, everyone relax. Oh yeah, that's really good. This tastes way better than the crap that we have. Like, way better. So I've just been informed that in England, these are just called muffins, not English muffins. Porridge. I'm from the US, I don't know what porridge is. I'm assuming it's oatmeal. So from what I can tell, you get porridge 4 different ways. One with golden syrup, looks a lot like honey. One with strawberry jam, straight from France. One with sugar, which they did not include. And then one plain. So first I'm just going straight porridge, no chaser. Yeah, there's no flavor to it.
Have some golden syrup on its own.
Yeah, all right. So I've been informed that golden syrup is good stuff. I don't know what's the difference between golden syrup and I guess whatever other syrups. You're right, it's like, it's not quite maple syrup, but it's pretty close. Makes it much better, obviously. All right, overall, Harry, of the American exclusives, what were some of your likes and some of your dislikes?
Some of the things I liked, you guys have a much bigger breakfast menu than we do. I did like the McGriddles. They did live up to Joe's pretty high billing. I also think that your bacon is much better than ours. So I think maybe the double quarter pounder with bacon was a strong highlight there. Some dislikes, there's a few. I don't like the biscuits. I'm sorry, guys. I think they are, like, for a British person, too similar to a scone, so we can't really like mentally differentiate between the two. And it's just quite dry. And also I think like making your burgers deluxe by just adding loads of mayo, some tomato and lettuce just is a bit underwhelming. Not really a deluxe vibe for me.
So if you could bring one thing to the UK from the US, exclusive, what would it be?
If I could take one of these exclusives that I've tried today back to the UK with me for our menu, I think I'm gonna have to pick the bacon, egg and cheese McGriddle. I think it was really good. It's a bit of a twist on the classic McMuffin formula. Feels like a little bit more decadent maybe, a little bit more sweet. And yeah, just really good fun. I like the emphasis you guys place on your breakfast menu.
What's the thing you just hated the most? You're like, ugh, I could stay in the US.
For the thing that I hated the most and would want to remove from all possible menus, it's tricky. There are a couple. But I think it might have to be the sausage biscuit. It was so dry. And the notion of a biscuit/scone breakfast sandwich to a British person is just too bizarre. I can't get my head around it, and yeah, not the best.
Gotta say, I really disliked your bacon. Your bacon is weird. It ruined everything that it was on. I love bacon, but your bacon is just, it is bizarre. The things that I like the most, I obviously like the curry dipping sauce. I like the banana milkshake, separately, obviously. That triple chocolate chip cookie was good.
All right, Joe, you've got to pick one thing to take back with you to the US from our menu, and you've got to pick one thing to remove from our menu forever.
I'm taking back the curry dipping sauce. I wanted to try that since we shot the first episode. And then take off your menu. I mean, those veggie dippers were pretty dismal, but I don't want to leave vegetarians out in the lurch. The thing that's like haunting me the most was the grilled chicken wrap. I don't think it was grilled, I think it was boiled. And I feel bad that that's on your menu, and it's gross. And I will do the UK a favor. All grilled chicken off the menu at McDonald's, you're welcome. A Brit and an American swap countries to try each other's KFC. This is Food Wars.
We're going to start with some things you can get in both the US and the UK to see if there are some subtle differences in taste or anything else. The first thing for me to try, the main event, the fried chicken. So there's just original recipe chicken. I've got what looks to be a thigh piece. Visually, I think it probably looks slightly more appealing than British fried chicken from KFC tends to look. The breading is like all over the place. There's no bare patches here. I always struggle to like identify where the bones are in pieces of KFC. I don't want to just bite straight into a bone. Okay, yeah, this is good. Compared to the UK, I think I definitely am getting more flavor. I think a fair amount of that is coming from the breading. It's actual seasoning and flavor. It's like a thick, juicy piece of chicken. I don't want to go back to eating regular British KFC after this.
Right, this 6-piece bucket. This looks like it has more skin than what we got in the restaurant, I will say. So already this looks like it has a better batter to it. That is so bland. I can taste the flavors, and that was like strong. And I'm assuming that's the chemicals we put in our food to make it taste like, wow.
The next thing we wanted to compare was popcorn chicken, which I think in the UK is a pretty iconic menu item. Although weirdly enough, they've actually cut it from the menu in the US right now. The exception being that they will still add it to famous bowls, but we'll get to that later. So I guess for the time being, I will try a US chicken nugget and see how that compares. I mean, like, this just kind of looks like popcorn chicken. It's definitely a bit more dry on the palate. Again, I don't see why they've got rid of popcorn chicken in lieu of these, because popcorn chicken is effectively the same thing.
That's like a shot. Oh, how's them? Well, I don't taste anything. So far, I would say that KFC chicken, both on the bone and popcorn, in the US, the flavor is more pronounced and has more of like a savory flavor to it. This flavor has training wheels. It'll get there someday.
Firstly, there are some twists on the classic fried chicken, which we can't usually find. The first variety we have here is the spicy fried chicken. I mean, like, visually this looks fairly similar to just the sort of standard original recipe. Although I will say the breading looks pretty good. You get a lot of these little like flakes of breading, which really tend to get crisp and stay crisp. I don't know if there's enough to call it spicy, because I'm not like a guy who has a super high spice tolerance. And for me, that's like warm, but not much more than that. And it's very pleasant. And I do think it's crispier than the original recipe. Very juicy, flavorful. I think this is really good. I think I would be tempted to buy this over just classic original recipe. And it's not just spicy chicken that's available in the US. You can also get another type called extra crispy. As the name suggests, it's the regular fried chicken, but made extra crispy.
I think extra crispy should be the KFC chicken. Then the original should be like diet.
For some reason, the branch that we went to today didn't have it in the form of regular original recipe chicken, but they did have it in the form of a chicken little. I'm just gonna like break off the end bit that was untouched by the mayo to see if it is actually crispy or not. I don't think this is extra crispy. Even though they told us it was, maybe their crispinator was broken today or something. KFC US is very good at cooking chicken on the bone, less good when it comes to cooking chicken off the bone, because this is a little bit dry, a little bit chewy.
Moving on, the snack wrap. This one is the Flamin' Hot. Oh, wow. There's got some heat to it. Okay, UK. Yeah, I like this. This is really good. Kansas barbecue, okay. This barbecue sauce is pretty good. I mean, this is definitely a sweeter sauce, which I think is indicative of Kansas City barbecue. Anyway, yeah, not bad. Sweet chili bites. Too sweet, not that spicy.
Now we're onto an item which I've been watching from across the pond with a mixture of horror and fascination. It's the KFC famous bowl. Instead of me trying to explain it, I feel like we should just get Joe in here. Joe, do you want to come and explain the famous bowl to me?
A little bit of everything is on the menu, just in bowl form, for anyone who just pretty much given up on life and doesn't care as long as they get in the stomach.
Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
It's looking more like an infamous bowl right now. It's not horrible. There's just a lot going on. There's a lot of flavors fighting with each other right now, vying for supremacy. The main thing I get, I think, is the corn, actually. I would have assumed that the mash and the chicken would have been kind of the stars of the show, but if anything, it's everything else in there that you can actually taste more. To me, it feels a little bit like you're eating baby food for adults. I was going to say I'm more excited to try the next bowl, but I don't know if excited is the word. Maybe less anxious to try the next bowl. This is the KFC mac and cheese bowl, but the kind of color on that is some cause for concern. So I think this actually works in harmony with the chicken much better than the famous bowl does. If I had to get a bowl, I think I would be leaning more towards the mac and cheese bowl than the famous bowl. Next up is the KFC pot pie. It's funny to see this on the menu at a KFC in the US because I feel like meat pies are generally associated with Britain more. We love a meat pie in the UK, steak pie, chicken pie, Greg's, pucker pies, all that good stuff. So with like a meat pie in the UK, what you'll often get is the pastry on the bottom as well, so it's like a self-contained pie. Whereas I think with a pot pie, you just have a layer of pastry on top and then filling underneath, and there's no bottom layer of crust, but let's find out. They haven't skimped on the carrot. I taste a lot of the carrot flavor. In the UK, for example, with a meat pie, you tend to get like a gravy that will kind of run out when you cut into it, but This is like staying on the spoon. It's not like running off the spoon. It's not great, but it's not bad either. It's like the sauce needs a little bit more seasoning. I think it's a little bit bland. A bit more salt and pepper would not go amiss there. I think with a few minor adjustments, they could make this really good. And I do think Brits would go for this.
This is super weird. Look at that. There's a hash brown in there. What does that do with like tower? That much? I like everything that this is made of. Together, I don't think it works. If I was to get this, I'd ask them to separate it across 3 containers and just eat the hash brown, then the chicken, finish it off with a slice of cheese. There you go. This would be close to like what our extra crispy is. This is supposed to be a spicy one. It's gonna zing me with spice. Not bad. It's not that I dislike anything I've had so far. It's that it's all 60 to 70% as far as flavor and intensity that I'm used to in the United States. You can also get yourself a Zinger Stacker and a Zinger Tower Burger. Yo, this is a thick one. Wow. I'm not gonna bite into this, but man, that's a lot. This would be right at home on the US menu. This would be like, yes, of course. It'd be like the double zinger, and everyone's like, yeah, of course it's double. Okay, vegan burger. It kind of looks like chicken. The mayo pretty much missed it, right? See how it came? So I got to kind of like activate the mayo. Twist your vegan sandwich before you eat it. Should I even ask what the mayo's made of? I mean, when you rip it apart, it's like one of those big erasers you get when you're a kid. Like, I mean, I wouldn't just want to eat this in general, but as far as a fake meat, it's pretty close. And I don't know why, if you were vegan, you'd be like, finally, a chicken sandwich at KFC. No, you can eat this. There's no chicken meat in it. It's like, yeah, but you're still killing them by the millions. So there is a category in the menu of twisters, rice boxes, and salads. They had no rice boxes or salads. They did, however, have the twisters. But this is called a twister, not a wrap. What's twisted about it? What's not twisted? It looks like they took a chicken breast and cut it in half. And this was like one long tender. I mean, it's also smaller. I bet they like wanted to like appeal to a more like male demographic. So don't get a wrap, get a twister. I'm a big man. I don't want a wrap. I want a twist. Yes, twisted. Wraps are for the ladies. The dudes have twisters. I don't think that. They think that. KFC, shame on you.
Let's talk about some exclusive sides that you can't find in the UK. Firstly, if the mac and cheese bowl is too much mac and cheese for you, you can just get a little cup as a side. You can also get a side of corn. You guys just produce so much of it, you can't get rid of it fast enough.
I'm not trying corn on the cob. Here in the UK, you guys have corn on the cob. Obviously, ours is corn off the cob. But this would be easier for driving or like eating on the go, right? Have you ever seen someone walking on the street just chewing on a cob on a stick? It's not a stick. You've never seen that? Keep your eyes peeled. I would like to get that trend going.
And of course, apparently it wouldn't be a US fast food menu without biscuits. This is an American biscuit. It looks a lot like a British scone, at least on the outside. However, generally I think it's a bit more like bready and maybe slightly drier than a scone. Texture check. It's confusing because with a British scone, they're generally like sweetened with sugar because they're eaten with things like jam and cream, and it's more of an afternoon tea / dessert type thing. Whereas these ones are supposed to be eaten with a savory meal, but actually smell kind of sweet. I think of the biscuits I've tried from fast food menus in the US so far, this is probably my favorite one, but it's somewhere between like a British scone and a bread roll.
Baked beans. Well, yeah, these are way more tomatoey, excuse me. The tomato sauce that it's in is like similar to like whatever SpaghettiOs come in. I will never be in the mood for that. Southern rice. What the hell? I don't know what they think Southern is. I'm surprised at how different it is. You'd think an international food chain would want it to be same everywhere, but playing to the UK tastes, I assume.
KFC in the US has a bunch of sauce options that we can't get in the UK, which means it's time for
Sauce Talk Foreign Exchange!
The theme seems to be that they have a lot of honey on the menu when it comes to their sauces at KFC in the US. The sauces on offer here are hot sauce, honey sauce, a honey barbecue sauce, KFC sauce, and yet more honey, a honey mustard. I usually like a honey mustard, but I do think you have to get the balance of honey and mustard right. Yeah, that's not bad. That's a pretty well-balanced honey mustard, I think. I'm intrigued by KFC sauce. I quite like it. I really can't put my finger on exactly what's in it right now. Next up, we've got the honey barbecue. Oh, extremely sweet, both on the honey side and even on the kind of barbecue side. Let's have a look at the honey sauce. It's fine. It does taste pretty much just like honey. And then finally, they have a hot sauce. Yeah, that's pretty comparable to like a Frank's Red Hot.
Barbecue. Okay, Kentucky smoked barbecue. Actually, this is on point. Sticky sweet chili sauce. Why is it sticky? Yeah. Oh, that's good. All right, garlic, buttermilk, mayo. I like all three of those things separately. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Now let's look at some exclusive drinks served in these delightful Diablo branded cups. You guys love a advertisement tie-in, don't you? So I believe this one is Starry, Joe's beloved Sierra Mist, unfortunately cold recently and replaced by Starry. Let's give it a try. It's more what I'm used to, I guess, from like a UK version of a lemonade style drink. And of course we have a US style lemonade. It's pretty good. Again, to me it's slightly weird what Americans consider lemonade, considering coming from the UK, lemonade is basically Sprite. It's like a clear, carbonated lemony beverage. It's pretty good. It's probably like slightly more refreshing and hydrating than a Sprite is in the UK. There are a couple of other exclusive drinks which we can normally get, but unfortunately our local branch did not have. Devastatingly, because I really wanted to try the Mountain Dew Sweet Lightning and regular American Mountain Dew.
When we ordered the bottles of drinks, didn't we think it was just gonna be like a personal one? I don't know, the Tango, Orange? Ugh. 7-Up Free, Pepsi Max Cherry. Crush'ems. UK, of course, has exclusive Crush'em drinks in front of me. I said, give me one of each, and they did. Milky Bar. Aero. Is that normal?
It kind of was advertised as a healthy chocolate.
Because it's got more air in it.
Because there's more air in it.
We're still charging the same, but it's just as you get less in there, so okay. Less calories by default, because it's filled with air. I might be the last person to point this out, but like they took the candy bar and they crushed it, and that's why it's Crush'ems. Okay. Oreo one, I mean, come on. That's really good. I would definitely get this. Dessert, exclusive desserts, you get a white chocolate chip cookie. You could also get a pineapple stick, but they didn't have any at the location we went to. Also, I don't know what a pineapple stick is. Why is that dessert?
I think if I could pick one item from this menu to take back with me to the UK and put on our menu over there, I think it would probably be the spicy chicken. I just like how it was slightly more crispy than the regular chicken and just added a bit more flavor. The level of heat was really good. Yeah, I think that would come back with me. If I could remove one thing from the US and all other menus from KFC, I think it would be the famous bowl. I'm sorry guys, I don't want to start some kind of revolutionary war again, but I just feel like it's not very good because those ingredients don't really go together. Texturally, it's a bit of a nightmare. And honestly, there's just way better things you can do with the stuff on the menu.
I was really impressed with the Flamin' Hot wrap. I might have dogged on it a little bit earlier because it was smaller, but that spicy sauce you guys have is actually pretty good. Honorable mention, the vegan burger. Obviously, I'm not vegan, but I guess I was surprised by how kind of decent it was. It's not my favorite, but I mean, points for it being edible. Way to go. I will do everyone a favor, and I will say, I'm not cutting a menu item. Let's get that potato off of your sandwiches. They just don't work together, period.
A Brit and an American swap countries to try each other's Burger Kings. This is Food Wars.
So obviously you can get a Whopper meal at a UK and a US Burger King, but we did want to get them in both countries and compare the two to see the differences.
This here, of course, is a standard Whopper meal. I believe it was the regular size, and this would be a small in the US.
Just a quick visual check. I mean, the Whopper itself looks identical to the Whopper that I'm used to seeing in the UK. Really no changes there. The toppings seem to be the same. You get the mayo, the pickles, the lettuce, the tomato, onions, and of course the beef on a sesame bun. So that's, yeah, exactly what I'm used to.
Let's take a look at a UK Whopper. Looks exactly the same, so that's good. Same size. Yeah, it's a big one, right? Same stuff on the inside. Oh, and I got a regular Whopper. I didn't even get it with cheese, which is rare for me.
It tastes pretty similar to what I'm used to. The beef is like pretty similar, if not identical. You still get like that flame grilled thing that Burger King is kind of known for. American mayo so far has just been very creamy, but pretty much everything else is the same. Overall, very similar to the Whopper that I'm used to.
Exactly the same, which is good. But the fries, however, your fries are a bit different, I think.
Honestly, the fries, this is a large Whopper meal. I was kind of expecting bigger for the US, you know? There's like a good portion of fries, don't get me wrong, but I feel like in the US, if you order a large fries, I was expecting like a lot of fries. They look pretty similar to the fries that I'm used to. They're like fairly thicker cut than like a McDonald's, say. These are pretty good fries, I have to say. I feel like when I go to a Burger King in the UK, I'm not really there for the fries. The fries are just very much a sort of add-on to the meal. These are good. These taste way better than the fries that I'm used to from Burger King. I don't know what they've done differently. They're like quite aggressively salted, which I personally really like. But they're just like well cooked. There's like a little bit of crisp on the outside. Still quite nice and like fluffy on the inside.
The US Burger King has, the fries are weird. There's some sort of like batter to them. I can't describe it. They changed it years ago and they're more distinct flavor. I don't dislike them, but they're not that great. These regular fries, I think like, I prefer the UK Burger King fries over the US ones, definitely.
And of course, the fountain Coke. I hope that the camera can capture the scale of just how large this drink is. I have a big head. Yeah, I mean, it's fountain Coke, it's fine.
Yes, regular drink is so tiny. I've just been informed that a Whopper can be considered an insult in the UK. What does it mean? That's funny. Have you been called a Whopper before? Someone called you a Whopper?
Yeah, I've heard that. Thank you. You're an absolute whopper.
I think generally speaking, fairly familiar, pretty much what I'm used to in terms of the burger. I've enjoyed these fries more than I enjoy the British fries, and the Coke is too big. Dial that back a little bit, guys, calm down. Here's everything you can get at a BK in the US that you can't find in the UK.
Here are all the UK Burger King menu items I cannot get in the US.
Let's take a look at the US beef exclusives. We'll start with this, the Whopper Junior. Look at this thing, it's tiny. I mean, yeah, I think it's just a scaled down version of the Whopper. It's got all the same toppings on there. Now we're going from one end of the scale straight to the other. We're going from the Junior Whopper to the Triple Whopper. As the name suggests, it is a Whopper, but instead of the one patty, you get 3. I mean, I don't necessarily object to the existence of a Triple Whopper. I will say I've got some notes on the assembly because there's no like layering going on. Obviously a Whopper doesn't have cheese. This is literally just like the toppings and then just 3 meat patties back to back. So I feel like when you bite into this, you're just gonna get like a big mouthful of just beef. I mean, I will try it for science. I'll take a little bite of the triple. Yeah, that's kind of confirmed my fears. I'm also covered in mayo. Next up, we're off to Texas, because this is a Texas Whopper. In case you're wondering what made this Texan, it seems like they've just added some jalapenos, bacon, cheese, and mustard to a standard Whopper. I don't really know enough about Texas culture to know if that makes something Texan or not. I would have expected maybe some like barbecue sauce if you called something Texan, but they seem to have not done that, so we'll see. I'm a big mustard fan, so I like the inclusion of mustard on this. Yeah, that's not bad. I don't know if I would order that just over a standard Whopper, but I think it's better than a Triple Whopper.
This is the BK Double Melts with a signature cheesy sauce. Instead of a slab of cheese, they just drizzled the, melted liquid cheese. The melted cheese is kind of like a nice texture to it. A slice of cheese would just as easily suffice. Bacon double cheeseburger, XL, Charlie. 2 patties, cheese in the middle, cheese in between them. Very smart, guys. See, it makes a difference. It's bigger than in America. We have the regular bacon double cheeseburger. This one is a little bit bigger. No, it's extra bigger. So there you go. Yeah, I like this, and I would probably get this if I went to Burger King. I think this would do really well in America. Come on, 2 big beef patties, dripping with cheese and bacon, and it's big. It's like, its selling point is that it's big. Dude, this would clean up in the US. If this is in the US, we gotta get US bacon. Look at this, come on guys, look at this. How like not pink this is. This is like, oh, this bacon's bad.
Then we have 2 more burger exclusives, which are the Kings. First up, we have the single quarter pounder King. This is a single quarter pound patty with some onions, pickles, cheese, mustard, and ketchup. This looks pretty good to me. This looks like a very classic hamburger, which I'm kind of here for. I will say in general, what I'm really enjoying about all of these burgers is the pickles. I feel like American does pickles way better than we do. I thought that was gonna be better than it was. I don't know why, I don't know what's wrong with it. There's like quite a lot of onion in it, just like a lot of raw white onion. And then the next one, I think we might have had recently on the menu, or might still be on the menu in the UK, but is a Bacon King. Either way, I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about fast food bacon. This is a double burger, some cheese in the middle and on top, along with a few rashers of bacon, some ketchup and mayo. Let me just prise a bit of this bacon off this burger. Let me get a close look. So this is the famous American fast food bacon. So I feel like the US and the UK do fast food bacon, and I guess bacon in general, pretty differently. This in the UK would be called a streaky bacon rasher, which is where you get the kind of like thin strips as opposed to back bacon where you have like a medallion and then some strip coming off it. Generally speaking, in the UK, fast food bacon tends to be quite a pallid pink, fairly unappealing colour, and can be quite floppy as well. They don't tend to cook it basically for long enough. I will say this bacon has a lot more colour on it than I would expect to see from British fast food bacon. That's pretty good. I think that's probably better than the bacon that I'm used to from a British fast food chain. So far, all the bacon I've had, including this one, it just tends to have like a better texture. There's a bit more chew to it. It's just been cooked a little bit longer, I think. Also lends itself to giving it a much nicer color. And you definitely get more of like a smoky flavor from it that you would expect from good bacon, which I don't think you tend to get from UK fast food bacon.
Yeah, the Gourmet Kings. Let's go. Ooh, fancy. First one, farmhouse, straight from the farm. You got your rocket, AKA arugula. You got your pickled red onions. And like a smoky cheddar cheese, right? This is actually this is pretty impressive looking, I gotta say. Ooh, brioche bun. All right, here we go. The arugula or rocket kind of ruins it. I like it, but it's like such a strong flavor. It just really tastes like arugula, rocket, whatever. Just having a bite without it is a lot better. So unfortunately, I think the arugula is a little much. This one also has arugula on it, so uh-oh. Let's get a look in there, man. They got the, we got barbecue sauce, crispy onions, right? Same cheddar, same fun cheddar. The arugula again is still a little overpowering, but with the fun stuff, and this cheese is on here is really good. Like this smoked cheddar. This one's good. I would get this. I like this. So steakhouse over farmhouse.
Then we have a couple of very adorable tiny burgers down the end. This one is the rodeo burger. So we're going back to the south for this one. To make this rodeo, they've added barbecue sauce and some onion rings. See, the only reason I can think of onion rings counting as rodeo is that maybe it looks a little bit like a lasso.
No.
Lasso?
No.
No. And then finally, we just have a double cheeseburger.
You guys got the Memphis barbecue burgers, single and double, go side by side. You know what, in the US, we got something called the rodeo burger. I don't think you have that here, where it's onion rings and barbecue sauce, and it's surprisingly good, but it's like the smallest thing. It's like that big, but this is a good idea. This is that, but like adult size. Yeah! I gotta get a bite, but I gotta make sure I get an onion ring in it, so. This works really well together. This all works, the creamy mayo. The mayo and the barbecue sauce, and the onion rings, and the bacon. Yeah, dude, this is good. Another thing that would do so well in the US, I don't know why I don't have this in the States, as you say. I will say they have to rename it. It'd have to be like the Rodeo Burger Deluxe or something. I don't know what about this is Memphis. I mean, the barbecue sauce, it's a sweet sauce. I don't know what makes it Memphis-y specifically, and I'm still not clear on why onion rings equals rodeo.
Then we're on to some chicken, fish, and side options. We'll start with these ones, which are chicken fries. Now, I'm pretty sure we can get these or have had these in the UK before. However, when we were recording this, it seems as if the only ones available are the Doritos Chili Heatwave version, whereas these are the old-fashioned classic ones. These things are great, I love these. I don't want to know how they form the chicken into long strips like this. If British people are familiar with Fridge Raiders, the snacks, kind of like a bigger, hotter version of those. It's great. Next up, we have a chicken sandwich option, which is the Chicken Junior. As Joe's just pointed out, they love calling things Junior at Burger King in the US. Personally, I think they should be called the Prince, you know? You have the Burger King as the main one. The little one should be a prince, surely. He's like a chicken duke or archbishop of beef. It just looks like a very simple chicken burger. That's pretty good. The mayo's quite quite creamy and quite sweet.
Chicken Royale looks just like the regular original chicken sandwich we got at BK. Longer though. Oh wait, but this one has cheese and bacon. Yeah, this looks kind of upsetting. Kind of a bummer. Okay, crispy chicken Memphis style. I do like the Memphis style. Onion rings and bacon and chicken with cheese. That's a new combination, right? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I think because it's fried chicken, it like adds even more like flavor to it with the bacon, cheese, and onion rings. It's a bit much, but actually works pretty well together. I think we got to Memphis up some of our BK in the US. Or just call it rodeo style it up.
Then we have a fish option, the Big Fish. It's fairly reminiscent of like a Filet-O fish from McDonald's. in that it's got that kind of shiny bun. I do like a good fish sandwich. Yeah, that's really not bad. The fish is like fine. Doesn't taste of a ton. An acceptable attempt at a fish sandwich, probably not quite as good as a Filet-O-Fish. Then we have a side option we can't find in the UK. It's mozzarella sticks. I feel like, yeah, we have now hit a point where pretty much everywhere does its own mozzarella stick. What I will say is it comes with a little thing of marinara sauce, which I think is the only exclusive sauce at a UK, US Burger King. So we can do a very, very short sauce talk. The sauce is pretty strong actually. That's a concentrated tomato flavor. It's almost like eating a tomato puree rather than like a marinara sauce. Acceptable mozzarella sticks. I probably wouldn't be rushing to order those again.
Plant-based Whopper. I'm pretty sure I did this in the US, right? But your guys' plant-based meat is different than ours. We have the Impossible meat in the US. So our Impossible Whopper, Impossible meat has a chemical that is under review. You guys have a different plant-based meat than we do. So let's see what it tastes like. It's not bad. Let me go. It's not flame grilled flavored enough. You know what I mean? Like the Whopper, the meat, you just taste that grill smokiness, charcoaliness, whatever you want to call it. And this, it looks like they cooked it the same way, but I'm not getting that same flavor from this meat at all. So it still tastes like meat, but it doesn't taste like a Whopper. It doesn't have that like smoky flavor to it. So, and I don't know, I don't think it has anything to do with the meat. I think you guys gotta like flame grill it more, or add the same flame grill chemicals onto this as you do the regular meat. This is noticeably different than the UK Whopper. Vegan chicken. This looks exactly like the original chicken sandwich, so. There's something weird in here. There's something weird to that flavor. I'm just gonna take it a little. Oh, this is not a good sign. This meat is not easy to pull apart. Ah! Ugh. Nah, it just tastes weird. It doesn't taste like chicken. It tastes like, it's flavored like the chicken, but the consistency of it is just different. I wouldn't say it was like bad. It just tastes like it's not chicken. These came and went in the US so fast I didn't get a chance to try them. But now I finally do. Looks like a nugget. Yeah, it just tastes like a fake something or other. Maybe like the batter on this seems thicker than regular nuggets, so I'm getting almost all batter flavor, which I guess isn't that big of a deal. This doesn't taste like chicken. Again, it's like blank. It doesn't have much flavor to it. Yeah, I mean, I think you guys got to step up your chemical game because our fake meat tastes way better. And these are chili cheese bites. Actually, they're not bad. It's mostly, ooh, got a little bit of heat to them too with the jalapenos. Yeah, these are good. On to the fries. Cheesy fries. Oh man, this is like really phoned in. This is really phoned in. No effort on that. Look at the bacon, like, it's not crispy. It's like, right? This is the bacon they have at an omelet station to put in your omelet, like pre-diced or whatever. But this is like, you guys, it's gotta be crispy or nothing, come on. Nothing to it. Really seems like a waste. All right, sauce talk time. Got the sweet chili and the smoky barbecue. There's also a spicy mayo. Wasn't available at the Burger King we went to. Oh well. It's time for sauce talk, foreign exchange.
Sauce talk.
First one, sweet chili, boys. Sweet chili is having a moment in the UK. It's growing on me. I think sweet chili is really nice. Smoky barbecue. Oh, this is in collaboration with Bullseye steak sauce, or barbecue sauce. Was a big player in the sauce game a decade or two ago, but I kind of feel like I haven't seen Bullseye in a while. This is pretty good.
Here are all the US exclusive breakfast items from Burger King. We'll start down this end, where we will find breakfast biscuit sandwiches. Now, if you saw the McDonald's episode, you'll know that I didn't really like their version of a breakfast biscuit. This is the ham, egg, and cheese. You can also get a bacon, egg, and cheese or a sausage, egg, and cheese. Now, I'm still not convinced by the notion of a breakfast biscuit. To the UK mind, this kind of looks like a scone. I will say this one kind of like feels a bit more buttery and a bit more moist than the McDonald's one did, so maybe it won't be as bad. It's hard to tell if this is actually like a scone or not. This has more of like a sort of bready texture than a scone does for the British audience. I feel like a scone tends to be a bit more crumbly and doughy, whereas this one is more bready. As for like the flavor, there is a pretty similar flavor, I would say, in that the sort of main taste you get is butter, And no, it's pretty good. Next up, we've got the croissant sandwiches. Now for the uninitiated like myself, this is a breakfast sandwich, but instead of a bun or a biscuit, they use a cut in half croissant. These come in the form of bacon, egg and cheese, a sausage, egg and cheese, a ham, egg and cheese, or you can get a fully loaded option, which comes with all of the above. You get the bacon, you get the ham, and you get the sausage patty. Coming from a country that is in pretty close proximity to France, I feel like I do have to speak up on behalf of my French friends out there, because yeah, they just look a bit sad really. I will say, I kind of have more faith in this idea than a biscuit, because at least a croissant will be hopefully flaky and buttery pastry and not quite as dry as a biscuit will be. I will say there are some places in the UK that will do like a ham and cheese croissant, but it's usually like a full-size kind of crescent-shaped croissant, which they would just cut in half and then add the cheese, a bit of ham, and then toast it. These, I don't know, it's the fact that they've got the small circular ones, so they've clearly been purpose-built to be buns. I'm not really sure about that. I'll try the big boy. I'll try the fully loaded croissant, which it's actually not the worst delivery system, because it's it is quite thin, it is quite buttery, and you do get a little bit of the flakiness that you'd expect. As much as I kind of disagree with the concept of a croissant sandwich, if you made me choose between one of these or a breakfast biscuit, I do think I'm choosing these, because it's closer to just a sandwich. For all the croissant sandwiches, you can also get a double meat version, so you can get double meat of the bacon, of the sausage, and of the ham. I don't think you can get a double fully loaded version, because that would just be kind of insane. Then we have two breakfast burrito options. We have the Egg-normous burrito and the breakfast burrito junior. If this is junior, then is this his dad? And my favorite thing to do is just invent fast food lore. I'm not 100% sure what's in either of these, so let's find out. Oh, well, some sausage. Oh God, oh no. Oh God. Oh, there's rice in it. I mean, I've made a mess of this, I'm sorry guys. So I'm seeing what looks like half a sausage patty, some egg, and what I think is rice. Give it a quick try. That's a reasonably palatable breakfast burrito. And then the big boy, the Egg-normous. Right, what do we got in here? Bacon, quite a lot of rice. I'm not seeing any sausage in this one. I'm pretty sure it's just egg, bacon, and rice. Let's give it a quick try. It's okay. So to me, this does taste a little bit claggy and hard to chew its way through. However, I'm told it's supposed to come with a salsa verde, which I think they've forgotten to give me. So maybe if I had a salsa with it, that would ease the digestion a little bit. Also, this is called the Egg-normous burrito, but it's really not very, this is not enormous, guys. Come on, if you're gonna call something enormous, we're in America. I want properly enormous. And then finally, we have some French toast sticks. What is Burger King US's beef with France? They're really just going for France here. So I don't think I've ever had French toast before. It's not really a thing in the UK. So in the UK, we have eggy bread, or egg bread, which is whisked up eggs, but it's a savory thing, because we're not putting vanilla and cinnamon and stuff in it.
That's crazy.
I will have basically just egg in bread that I will fry in a pan, and then maybe eat with some ketchup. I'm being told I have to try this with the syrup, so let's give that a go. British person tries French toast for the first time. I mean, it is pretty good.
Yeah, of course, it's French toast.
This is even more egregious than pancakes. Because this is it's like a churro that you then dip in syrup, but somehow that's for breakfast. Not convinced if that is a breakfast food or not, but it's very tasty. One last thing to note is that at a US Burger King, you can actually buy several burger options before 10:30 a.m. While they're still serving the breakfast menu, they will also make you a Whopper and I think a Bacon King. I'm not really sure who wants a Whopper at 9 a.m.
There's obviously exclusive Burger King breakfast menu items, but since the pandemic, a lot of Burger Kings are still working on a reduced menu. They're almost nowhere to be found. We looked, apparently you're only finding them in service station locations, so we looked around, couldn't find a place to serve them. Sorry.
Here are some drinks that I can't usually find in the UK. We'll start with this one, which is High C Fruit Punch. That's such a deeply unnatural color.
American drinks, baby! I fructose corn syrup, let's go.
My British palate has not adjusted to American soft drinks yet, because this thing is aggressively sweet. This one's Dr. Pepper. I can't remember if this is on the UK Burger King menu or not, but I mean, I like Dr. Pepper in the UK. Let's see if it's the same in the US. Okay, yeah, no, that's pretty comparable. Burger King in the US also has some milkshake options. This one is the Oreo Cookie Shake. This comes highly endorsed by Joe. Did you say this was your favorite fast food shake?
I would say, yeah, one of my favorites, yeah.
One of his favorites.
One of the best ones, yeah.
high praise. Let's give it a try. I mean, yeah, that's delicious. That is so thick. The straw like almost isn't up to the task. Yeah, that really does taste like Oreos, like the filling of the Oreo. And then if that's not enough chocolate for you, they also have a chocolate Oreo cookie milkshake. I mean, yeah, it's basically the same as that, but just with chocolate ice cream instead of vanilla ice cream as the base. Yeah, I don't think you need to mess with the formula. Stick with the classic, stick with vanilla.
Okay, for drinks, Burger Kings in the UK also have tea and espresso, and the one we went to didn't have hot drinks. And they also have various Capri Suns, which they did have, and we did order, and they forgot them.
Then we have some Burger King desserts that we can't find in the UK. We have two options. Firstly, chocolate chip cookies. Seems like these come in an order of two, which have cemented themselves together. They don't look brilliant. They're quite like hard on the outside. Don't know if cookies are supposed to make that noise. Those are like quite overbaked. Then we have a slice of Hershey's Sundae pie. I'm kind of intrigued by this. It's come pretty highly recommended to me. I like the packaging. This is quite fun. Don't bite your nails, kids. Makes it very hard to open Hershey's Sundae pies. I really don't know what to expect from this, but I guess I'm just gonna like get a scoop out and see what happens. Is it like pastry on the bottom? I can't really figure out what's going on. This I think like a sort of like a cakey biscuit base type thing. Yeah, that is very rich, but also very tasty. If there was one menu item that I could keep and take back with me to the UK, I don't actually know if it would be a specific menu item or maybe more like an ingredient. I think I would take the bacon that you guys have at the US Burger King and take that back to the UK. Because I feel like here it actually adds something to a burger in terms of like texture and flavor, whereas in the UK it's just kind of there, like you don't really notice it. And if there's one menu item that I would delete from all possible Burger King menus, I think it would be that triple Whopper. I think it just really was everything that was wrong with American fast food in general. It's just kind of excess for the sake of excess. You don't need that much meat. You need some kind of like lubrication in there. It's just dry, chewy, horrible. Get rid of it. So Joe, you tried all of our Burger King menu items. Which one are you taking back with you to the US?
I think I liked the Memphis barbecue burgers the best because it was like a rodeo burger, but it's bigger and had more stuff on it, so I think I could really get into that.
Then you can knock one thing off the UK menu forever. What's going?
What was it? Oh, that fake chicken, the chicken royale specifically, just the consistency of the chicken, how it tasted. It just tasted off. It tasted really weird. Like my body was like, do not swallow, spit out now. So I feel like as a nugget version, it would work, but as the chicken royale, didn't work. It's gotta go. A Brit and an American swap countries to try each other's Dominoes. This is Food Wars.
We're going to start by comparing a menu item you can find in both the US and the UK to see if there are subtle differences. This is a US large cheese pizza.
This is their largest size. Feels like it's a little bit bigger than our medium.
In terms of visual impressions, it looks pretty similar to a cheese pizza that I'd find in the UK. This is the large, not the extra large, and honestly, it looks pretty much like the size that I would expect from a large pizza in the UK. Otherwise, it looks pretty similar in terms of the crust. Obviously, a lot of cheese on there. You get these little like spots where the cheese kind of caramelizes on top. Yeah, pretty much like what I'm used to in the UK.
Seems pretty close, actually. I can definitely tell that this is mozzarella cheese and not whatever weird pizza cheese we have in the US, so yeah, this is like, it's like a cleaner taste. I like this, this is good.
Give it a try. I haven't had a Domino's in ages. It's also looking like there's a pretty high cheese to sauce ratio on there. I feel like if you look at the kind of cross section, it's a lot of cheese and not a ton of sauce. That's really not that bad. I have had some New York slices while I've been here, and it's kind of comparable to one of those. I feel like I might offend some New Yorkers by saying that. There's a lot of like tuts happening around the room right now. What I mean by that is, I think like in terms of the way that the cheese and the sauce blends together, there's like less of a distinction between the cheese and the sauce. It kind of just all forms one mass, and in that regard, I feel like it's similar to a New York slice. There are some differences though. The crust on this is like way less crispy than I have come to associate with a New York slice. There's also maybe not quite as much flavor as some of the slices that I've tried.
Here's all the UK Domino's menu items I can't get in the US.
And here are all the Domino's menu items from the US which you can't find in the UK.
You guys have exclusive dough options. I don't know about this one, guys. The double decadent, you got like a double layer crust with like a garlicky cheese in the middle there. Here in the UK, a garlic and herb stuffed crust pizza. This one also looks terrible. Thin and crispy crust. This has to be half price or you're getting ripped off. What is this crust?
Italian style.
What's Italian style? Yeah, it's like not as thin, but it's still thinner. So man, you guys really get specific with the thickness of your crust. Really want to dial that in, huh? Yeah, this I'd be like, in America, this would be the thin crust. This would be like, yeah, I got the thin one, right? And then this would be like, people just rioting.
Domino's in the US has crust options, which we don't have in the UK. We'll start with this one, which is the pan crust. I mean, it looks pretty good. It is obviously much thicker than the standard hand tossed slice was. You do get that kind of like pan crust bottom there as well. I like that you get more sauce and more distinct areas of sauce on this than the standard slice. I think often for me, like the sauce is kind of the star of the show, especially when it's a fast food pizza and the cheese generally doesn't have that much flavor to it. I will say I was expecting it to be crispier on the bottom. When you see the kind of like the cook marks on the bottom, I was expecting that to be a nice solid crust, but it is kind of squidgy. Not too bad. Let me try a little bit of crust. Slightly crispier on the edge. Next up, we've got the Brooklyn crust. Now, I've already made comparisons to New York slices, which have drawn some criticism from the room, but this is supposed to mimic a New York slice. As I now know from a New York slice, generally you're talking low moisture mozzarella, the sauce, and that kind of mixture of like crispy but a little bit floppy on the crust, which kind of this is doing, to be honest. So it sort of looks like a New York slice, but does it taste like one? No, no it doesn't. I'm sorry to the great state of New York for what Domino's has done to your pizzas. And then finally, Domino's in the US does a gluten-free base. I don't know what they've done to this gluten-free base. They've cut it so weirdly. Can you see the cross sections on this? I think maybe they were trying to do it into squares, but have just completely messed up the angles. So now you get these like weird kind of diamond-shaped slice in the middle, some like tiny triangle ones on the sides. I don't know.
Oh man, right?
Oh man. No. That's bad. What have they done there? Yeah, that's a miss. I feel like if I were gluten-free, I think I might just skip Domino's.
All right, let's go through these pizzas. Veggie volcano, veggies and jalapenos, making it volcano-y. Ah. Let's go, spice it up. Yep, oh, good. Off to a good start. The next veggie, the veg aroma. This one has like a lot of seasoning on it. No. Here we got this just says spicy, hot and spicy. Not that spicy. I mean, I'm seeing the jalapenos in here. That other one, the volcano one, was spicier. Tandoori hot. Okay, I am excited for this. I'm for real. There's no tandoori chicken pizza in the US. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that. Compared to other tandoori chicken, this probably is like not even remotely good. But on the pizza, yeah, that's a cool. That's like a nice flavor profile combination they got there. Yeah, good on them for that one. Good job.
So here are all the Domino's pre-made pizzas I can get in the US, which you can't find in the UK. On like a sort of visual level, these look a lot busier than I would expect a pizza in the UK to look. Like these things are topped. So we'll start with this one, which is the Philly cheesesteak pizza. Philly cheesesteak, an iconic American food. I've never really had a proper American Philly cheesesteak before. This is my introduction to them, which I'm sure the people of Philly will be thrilled to hear. It's very creamy, and I think the texture of the American cheese is a bit like claggy in the mouth. I don't love the peppers. I feel like the peppers are kind of overpowering it a lot. They've been really generous with the peppers and not super generous with the steak. I feel like if you flipped the ratio of those toppings, this would be okay. Next up, we have the Wisconsin 6 cheese. Okay, so this is a very cheesy pizza. I'm told Wisconsin is known for its dairy, and I suppose its cheese production. They've actually been quite generous with the sauce under the cheese, which I like because you need it to like cut through all of that dairy.
Okay, the R Veggie Supreme. Oh no! Corn on pizza, no! Oh God, I can really taste the corn. Meatalicious. Guys, come on. Oh no! I'm realizing something. I do not have a taste for UK sausage. Whatever we've been getting for these shoots. I think because your guys is pork and beef, or like the way you're spicing it, there's something about it. I get it why you guys would like it, and you grew up eating it. We'll get hairy sausage when it comes to US, and you'll see what I mean. Maybe it's a different type of sausage, and we just name it something different, but this sausage you guys have is weird. Oh yeah. Texas, I see the barbecue. Besides that, why else is this Texas? I see chicken. I see a few sparse slices of bacon or ham. Yeah, all this stuff is in Texas. This does not represent the state of Texas in any way.
Next up, we have the extravaganza. This one, I think, is probably the most chaotic in terms of toppings. What have we even got on here? I'm seeing ham, pepperoni, sausage, mushrooms, peppers, onions, and black olives. And I feel like I still might have missed some things. I feel like I'm being overloaded right now. You think you've kind of like identified what the flavor of it is, and then you bite down on something else, and then suddenly you're tasting something completely different. Next up is the Memphis barbecue pizza. Now this one has the barbecue sauce base. I believe it does have provolone as well as mozzarella on it, which might explain some of the extra cheesiness. And then you have some onions and the grilled chicken. Woo! I know it is a sweet barbecue sauce technically, and they are not kidding when they say that, because this is a very, very sweet, very, very sweet barbecue sauce. And I think that does kind of overpower anything else that's going on.
TC Mighty Meat. Okay, oh yeah, this guy again. This has to be half price or you're getting ripped off. This thing. So cheeseburger pizza. The cheeseburger US pizza I did really like. What, is burger sauces on here? Yeah, I like this. Good. I'm eating around the pickles. Ladies and gentlemen, the absolute banger. What is absolutely banging about this? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Just bringing it all to the front, guys. One bite. I don't know if it's really banger.
Next up, we have the deluxe pizza. This looks like a slightly less chaotic version of the extravaganza. There's still like a lot of toppings on here, but not quite so many. It's not like piled high like the extravaganza was. See if it tastes any less chaotic than its slightly more packed out cousin. What I'm realizing is that I don't really like peppers on pizza. I feel like it's quite a strong flavor. And when you get a fast food pizza specifically, where most of the toppings and the cheese and the sauce don't really offer that much in terms of taste, I feel like you have to be quite careful with your flavor balance, and peppers are kind of throwing that off for me. Next up, we have the Cali Chicken Bacon Ranch. So this one has chicken, bacon, diced tomatoes. I believe our old friend provolone is back again. And of course, there is ranch on this pizza. You can see the ranch. So it's basically the ranch in lieu of tomato sauce on the bottom. I still think I just prefer tomato sauce on a pizza. I don't think I will be swapping out my pizza sauce for ranch anytime soon at home.
Good Lord, guys, no. I'm gonna try meatball. Could someone intelligent in the comments explain the difference between US sausage and meatballs and UK sausage and meatballs? It's notably different. The Meteor? Too much. Too much. Veggie Sizzler? Spicy. Sizzling. Now this is weird to say this, but is it unfair or cheating to market something as being really sizzling and spicy if all you're doing is dumping jalapenos on it? Right? I don't think they did anything to like, it's not like a spicy sauce. They didn't add like any other spices to it, from what I can tell. It's just loaded with jalapenos, which is like, well, right, but a little more effort than that, guys. New Yorker, what? I feel like I've seen this before. No, in the past 5 minutes.
In the past 5 minutes.
Next up is the spinach feta pizza. I think I'll stick to my spanakopita instead of my spinach and feta pizza. This is the buffalo chicken pizza. We have chicken, onions, and quite a lot of buffalo sauce. That's barely even a pizza. I don't know if you can call that a pizza.
Oh no, it's the breakfast bricky. Or the brekkie? Oh, look what it did to the fox. God. What is on? Okay, I'm saying mushrooms, the sausage, ham, tomatoes, and HP sauce. I think people would get this as a novelty and then realize that the joke's on them when it shows up. Here we go with the vegan margarita. They were generous with that, with the herbs, whatever, the extra herbs. They're generous with that, which is code for this has no taste. Tuna Supreme. Oh God, it looks like cat food. Tuna on pizza is horrifying. I see no Venn diagram of enjoyment of those two flavors. Two completely separate circles. I feel like every alley cat's gonna try and break in here through the window. Oh. Oh, you people are insane. This whole island, maniacs. Oh, I gotta eat anything else. The taste in my mouth. What's the next one? I don't even care what it is. Chicken feast. Oh, with the corn! That's good. Anything else? Just, yeah. If you want to sell more chicken feast pizzas, just give away free tuna pizzas. And then people are like, I got the taste in my mouth. It's like, it'll cost you. You got it right here. Yeah, you move a lot of chicken feasts.
Next up, we have the Pacific Veggie Pizza. Not sure what makes this Pacific. Are these veggies exclusive to the Pacific? Because as far as I can tell, it's mushroom, onion, olive, tomato, spinach? It's okay. Having eaten several pizzas in a row that contain meat in some form or other, I was quite looking forward to a veggie one, hoping it would be a bit lighter, but it kind of isn't. And then finally, the last specialty pizza on the Domino's US menu is the Meatza. Having just gone from a veggie-only pizza, now I'm going to a meat-only pizza. This one has bacon, ham, pepperoni, and sausage. There's something about American meat, but I think it's just generally a lot saltier than what we're used to in the UK. As I was chewing that, I could just feel my mouth drying out. I think generally my takeaway from this section is you guys need to just calm down slightly because this is too much.
All right. We got here reduced fat cheese, which I've been told is on the UK, or the UK only pizza. Oh, you. Okay, I don't know what to show you. I mean, it looks like cheese. And then vegan cheese, this is gonna be, but it comes with its own garlic and herb dip vegan. Let's see what the vegans got going on. It tastes sour. Sauce options you only get in the UK, starting over here, just a straight barbecue sauce. We have honey barbecue, they have regular barbecue. And then over here, this monstrosity has sun-dried tomatoes and garlic sauce. They have 4 exclusive meat toppings here in the UK. Hot dog slices, unreal. Chorizo sausage, sounds nice. Pork meatballs, Tandoori chicken, yeah, that sounds real good. They also have 2 meatless meat options, vegan soya strips and vegan soya and wheat pepperoni. I think we saw that earlier. They have 7 non-meat topping options. Sweet corn, Domino's herbs, burger sauce, gherkins, Heinz ketchup, HP sauce, and garlic spread. Here it is, the UK only. It looks like an alien community opened a pizza place. And they were like, here's that pizza you like this is all things humans like, and on together like this, the completely fundamental misunderstanding of how food works. Whoa, that was really bad.
Now, beyond the pre-made specialty pizzas, they have some individual toppings and customization options in the US, which we can't find in the UK. So Joe has kindly taken a bunch of the exclusive US toppings and added them to one pizza to create a US only. I don't even know what he's put on here. The crust looks weird. I think he's gone thin crust. Banana peppers, spinach is back on there. This looks like a meat of some kind, but I can't tell you which one. Is that like beef? The steak from the Philly cheesesteak. The base sauce has been swapped out for ranch, of course. and there's extra of that and light cheese. I mean, this thing looks like a bit of a disaster. How thin that is. What have you done, man? Oh, that's bad.
Domino's in the UK also has its own sides that I haven't had ever, so why not try them now? Starting over here. Potato wedges. Oh, yeah, fries. Whatever. Nope, not bad. Chicken strippers. Stripping it up. Just okay. I mean, pizza's usually amazing, so I don't know why you get chicken strips or fries at a pizza place. Oh, the nachos. No! Oh, no! UK, what have you done? If you want to be a millionaire, open a decent Mexican restaurant in London. You're gonna try very hard. Just above horrible, 2 or 3 steps. The line will be out the door. Oh my God, my soul hurts. So terrible.
Then we're on to some exclusive US side options we can't find in the UK. Firstly, we have tater tots. Now, if I'm correct, these are basically balls of like mashed potato, which are then fried. They can then be topped with a range of things. The ones we've got here are Philly cheesesteak tots. Not bad. There could be like slightly more flavor going on. Then we have 2 stuffed cheesy bread options. As the name suggests, these are big pieces of bread topped with lots of cheese and a filling of your choice. Here we have a spinach and feta cheesy bread. And then I believe this one is bacon jalapeno cheesy bread. Then we have 2 twist options. Here we have some garlic bread twists and Parmesan bread twists. Now you don't eat the twists on their own because they come with dips. So this is a cheesy marinara dip. It's basically just a bowl of their marinara sauce with lots of melted cheese on top. I kind of see the appeal of dipping these in marinara sauce. I don't know if it needs the cheese. That's such overkill. I would enjoy that way more if it was just marinara sauce. In addition to the cheesy marinara sauce option, there's also a 5 cheese dip. That's just pure oil.
Vegan nuggets. Ooh, I don't like this. No. Twisted dough balls. I bet that was better when it was hot. Again, why are you getting this instead of pizza? Because it's the elements of pizza. These are the chicken kickers. I'm going for that kick. And I don't think it's coming. To be honest, this slaw looks a little rough, but you can get a real big tub of coleslaw.
We're still talking about sides, but now we're on to chicken. Domino's in the US has some wing options, which we can't find in the UK. We'll start with these ones here, which are garlic parmesan wings. They have not skimped on the garlic parm sauce, although I will say these are tiny wings. What chicken is this come off? This is the world's smallest chicken. Maybe one of the worst wings I've ever had. The sauce is like a weird gloopy texture, which I really do not appreciate. Doesn't even taste nice. And the other wing option we got today was sweet mango habanero. I'll give these a quick try. The bar is pretty low after those garlic parm wings, I have to say. It's definitely better than the other one. The sauce actually tastes kind of nice. A little bit of tweaking the method, I think, would go a long way, Domino's, so please fix this because these are not very good. Domino's in the US also has boneless wings. I'm still not exactly sure what counts as a boneless wing versus a nugget, but they're calling these boneless wings. We got 2 options today, which are the crispy bacon and buffalo chicken. I'll have a quick bite of the crispy bacon. These have been disappointing. I thought Americans did wings better than this, I'm going to be honest. There are 2 other boneless wings, which are a sweet barbecue bacon and a spicy jalapeno, but we didn't get those today. Domino's in the US also offers a range of sandwiches and pastas. I don't know why, because they all look real bad. I'll work my way down this way, starting with the Italian sandwich, a chicken parm, and once again, a Philly cheesesteak. Although I feel like if you tried to sell this in Philly, they would run you out of town. There are some other sandwiches we didn't get today, including a buffalo chicken, a chicken habanero, a Mediterranean veggie, and a chicken bacon ranch. Then we're on to the pasta options. The ones I have in front of me today are a chicken Alfredo and a pasta primavera. I'm going to be honest, after trying all the pizzas, I am not going to try these for the sake of my health. I've heard from Joe that they are all terrible.
I think the pastas at Domino's are an absolute abomination.
And looking at them, I believe him.
All right, it's time for Sauce Talk for an Exchange.
Sauce Talk.
Sauce talk. Thank you.
Garlic and herb dip. This isn't ranch, but it's pretty close. Oh, you have a vegan one. I can taste the difference, but this one's pretty good too. Honey and mustard. Big honey mustard guy. Wow, it's actually really good. Like, your sauces are good. Tangy salsa? Okay, I think this is where we're about to fall off a cliff here. There's no way you got salsa right. You know what it is? It's like, here's tomato sauce, here's salsa. You're like, you stopped like here. Oh, duh, Frank's. USA, baby, all the way from Jersey. Mmm. Oh, yep, that's Frank's. I don't know why I did that.
There are 4 sauce options in the US, which we don't have in the UK. And these are a marinara sauce, a blue cheese sauce, ranch dressing, and a sweet mango habanero. I will very quickly give these all a try. It's fine. The marinara sauce is very sweet. Blue cheese dressing. I like a little bit of blue cheese on wings. It can be very overpowering. Oh, no, no, no. It's not even that it's like too much blue cheese, it's just like there's some kind of odd flavor in that. It does taste like slightly soured. Of course, we have the ranch. They put this on some of their pizzas directly. And for the real ranch lovers, you can then also dip your crust in it as well. I can't open this because my hands are covered in grease. It's quite tangy. And last but not least, the sweet mango habanero. I quite like this on the wings. I think this is like by far the best and like most well balanced of any of these sauces.
Looks like for desserts, you guys got the cookies. Okay. And what's this last one? Oh God, what the hell is this? What do I even do with it? Do I cut it? Do I just bite right into it? Listen to me. From what I can tell, it's just pizza dough with melted chocolate on it. No effort on this. Yeah, this is weird.
Then the US has some dessert options which we can't find in the UK. Over here we have chocolate lava cake. Okay, no, there is some lava in there, but still very gooey on the inside. Well, not bad. Next up we have some cinnamon bread twists. So I think it's basically just the same dough that they use for the garlic or parmesan bread twists, but instead of topping them with savory things, they top them with cinnamon and then give you some sweet icing for dipping. This is really good. We don't have a lot of like cinnamon roll, Cinnabon type of stuff in the UK, which I think is a travesty because I think it's really tasty. And honestly, yeah, these are pretty good. And then last but by no means least, we have the marbled cookie brownie. I feel like Domino's are like surprisingly good at desserts. That's really not bad. I think overall, I have to say I'm kind of disappointed by the US Domino's menu. I was expecting some good flavors, some good textures, and various bits and bobs, but I really didn't get much of that. Honestly, my main takeaway is that I didn't like most of the menu.
This might be controversial considering how much I hate vegetables, but of all the like the pizzas, already like predetermined ones, I was actually very impressed with the volcano veggie or veggie volcano. That's like really good. That was earlier. Was a little more optimistic, to be honest, but I was surprised by how much I liked this. So yeah, that was a good one.
This sounds kind of ridiculous to say, but I think if I had to take one menu item from the US and bring it back with me to the UK, I'd probably take the cinnamon bread twists.
Well, if I had to pick one, probably the one that almost made me throw up, that'd be the tuna. So bad. Horrifying. Like, I'm glad I know, but that was, I mean, it almost made me throw up.
Of the things on the US menu, I think the one that I would delete permanently if I could would actually be the extravaganza. I kind of said it at the time, but I think it's just far too many toppings. I think Joe agrees with me on this one, so I hope he doesn't push back too hard. But I think the more toppings you add, the kind of worse you end up making a pizza. There was not a square centimeter of cheese on that pizza. It was just toppings, toppings, toppings. Flavors were all over the place. It didn't know what pizza it was trying to be. It was just a disaster, far too much. Dial it back, guys, calm down.
Activity.